It's Kenny! Hey there, everyone. You know, one of my favorite sports besides hockey, baseball, basketball, and golf has got to be football. In fact, I would say that that's the sport that I follow the most. My favorite team happens to be the Giants, and I've been a fan of them since I was a teenager. Yeah, I know they haven't done good this season, but hey, that doesn't mean things won't turn around in the future. Anyway, football video games have been around since the Magnavox Odyssey days. No joke, they've been around since the very beginning. And what with the popularity and longevity of the Madden series, football games are here to stay. Now, I'll be honest with you viewers, I don't really play Madden games, or even games similar to Madden. I don't hate them, I just suck at them. But when it comes to old school retro sports games like Tecmo Bowl here, I'm much better at them, and thus I enjoy them a lot more. Personally, I still think that this game holds its own as a solid 8-bit title. Let me show y'all what I mean. Tecmo Bowl was originally released as an arcade game in 1987, but it eventually received an NES port in 1989. On a side note, the guy who did the music for Tecmo Bowl also did the music for Ninja Gaiden and Castlevania Rondo of Blood. That's pretty cool to know. It should be noted that unlike in real-life football and heck, even in more modern football games where there are usually 11 men at play, the teams can only have 9 players on the field. Now, I know that sounds like the devs were shortchanging everyone, but you have to remember the limitations of the NES. Speaking of teams, we get a selection of 12. The players of these teams, for the most part, come from the 1988 NFL roster. And that means when you play as the Raiders' Bo Jackson as the running back, you're almost certain to get a touchdown each and every time you have the ball. And everyone knows how awesome Bo Jackson is. Another thing I should mention about the teams in Tecmo Bowl is that whilst real NFL players' names were used, team names were not. But that's not really a huge issue, because if you know the team, then you probably more than likely know which city they play for. Like most football games from the time, the perspective is top-down, but unlike most football games from the time, the screen scrolls horizontally rather than vertically, kind of giving it that arcade game feeling, though that shouldn't be a surprise considering that this game started in the arcades. There are only 4 plays to choose from while running both your offense and your defense, and because each team has different players, no 2 teams are alike. That's right! Just like in your modern Madden game, each team has its own offensive and defensive strengths and weaknesses. Another cool thing about this game is how the players can do impossible stuff, such as being able to throw a ball 80 yards away, or how when players smash into each other and fly off all over the field. It's entertaining, and it's funny. One other thing that's pretty cool about Tecmo Bowl is its user-friendliness. Virtually anyone can pick up this game and play it. Unlike in Madden, where a general skill is required, more casual gamers can play and have fun with this game. All in all, I would have to really recommend this title. This is a fun little classic sports game that anyone can sit down and play. If you have an NES, I would suggest picking up this title. It would make a nice addition to your collection. Or if you don't have an NES, you can always emulate it. No one's looking. As for the score for Tecmo Bowl, I'm going to give it a nice 7.5 out of 10. It's a simple, retro game that still holds up pretty darn well today. Well everyone, I hope you liked the review, and if you did, click that like button and tell me what you thought of the video. And if you really liked my review, click that subscribe and bell icons for more future videos.
Huh, well that was a really cool review from Kenny. If you'd like to see more reviews from Tomasi Entertainment, just hit one of these boxes. Anyone. Just push one of them, you know. I guess I'm not trying to push you to push a box. Do what you want. Yeah, it's up to you. But if you want to hit a box, it'd make me feel, you know, better about myself a little bit.